Vampires is what we're going to talk about tonight. Hey, Dave Plouffe, the award-winning actor of VHS Vengeance.
That's right. And you thought it wasn't a real film.
I know. These people, they don't know what's going on. I don't know. I don't get it. But yeah, we are going to talk the 4th episode in Kolchak, the Night Stalker TV series. It's episode 4, The Vampire. And Dave will talk about in a second how it's kind of a sequel to the movie. And was going to be the 3rd movie. And I'll let Dave do a big discussion. Unless I talk about it so much before I even get to him. But let me see. Make sure we're live. We are live. Just making sure. And make sure you guys give a thumbs up, please. What else can we do? Check out the links below the description. Go to Dave's channel. He's the Paranormal Gardener. If you like gardening, all that good stuff. But Dave is here usually every Sunday with me. We're going to have a Halloween spectacular next Sunday. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun day next Sunday. And yeah, let's say hi to everybody in the chat.
You want to do the
intro? Should we do the intro?
Let's do the intro. I love the intro.
Okay, then we'll do the intro, and then we'll be right back, and we will talk about Kolchak. Here we go.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Yeah, Dave's getting crazier out there, man. Did you get that thing? Oh, shoot, we're back. Oh, man. Thank God that didn't get over the air. That was some deep stuff. Yeah, hey, everybody. Sweet Indigo 45, what is going on? I don't know. What's on the menu? How about Kolchak, The Vampire, episode 4, episode discussion, right, Dave?
It is a discussion,
right? It's not a movie?
Yeah. And welcome to Phoenix Hines, who was 9 years old when this aired on TV. Instantly hooked. I think we were all instantly hooked with...
Yeah, hooked. Speaking of that, hookers, and cops and robbers and reporters and vampires.
Took out the LA Rams.
Oh, geez. Yeah, wait till we get to that scene. But WWM, Vicky Array. Who else we got here? Rob Fred. What's going on? Good to see you. Welcome, Phoenix. Good to have you on the channel. Always doing something, man. We're going through every episode of Kolchak. We watch it. We get together and we talk about it with you guys. So it's always fun. Jay Lura, I was going to say, what's going on? Those comments earlier. You've been sipping the old brandy or something. I don't know. But good to have you here. I was 3 or 4 when it came out. No wonder I don't remember it. Makes sense. Alan Henches. Alan Henches. Good to see you. Welcome. I love all the new people that I've been seeing lately, Dave. It's so wonderful. Gives me chills. No, don't give me chills. Makes me happy.
I think maybe chills during Halloween is fair enough.
Okay. WTF Horror and Sci-Fi. Duck Dodgers. Good to see you. So, Siban. Hey, it's been a long time. Good to see you. And Chris. Good to see you. Hello, Dino. What's up, brother? Good to see you. I promise. Movie night starts up this Friday. Yes. Movie nights for all Patreon members and channel members. I'm going to try to get extra for the movie night on Friday. But, before I keep going on, we got to get into this. We got to start talking about Kolchak before Dave leaves. I don't want that to happen. Hey, what's going on, Dave Plouffe? Tell us about the beginning of this episode. What's this all about?
We would have played VHS Vengeance on Friday for our first Patreon movie night. But how much does it cost to be a Patreon?
Oh, God. You start off for, I think, $1.99 a month. That's pretty darn cheap. And it supports the channel and everything I do. Thank you.
Terrific. I'm sure Connie Cleary will put all the information in the chat as well.
Thank you.
Later.
Thank you, Connie. Southern Coke drinker, Laura. Oh, she put Laura at the end of that. So she specifies so everybody knows who she is. Good to see you, Laura. Black Roses made it. Good to see you. Yeah, Dave, this is, VHS Vengeance. Let's talk about that real quick.
All right.
It's a thing where I did yesterday. It's Saturday night, game night. Always got a game night on Saturday night. And I came up with fake movie titles and real movie titles. And you had to guess which. Listen, they got 3 of them wrong, Dave. I mean, so I did something correct, but it was fun. I'm going to make it harder next time. VHS Vengeance most certainly should be a real movie, I guess. But
I just thought of all the tape.
Right? Yes.
Coming out VHS
It just creeps up on the couch. And, okay, so this episode of Kolchak, Dave, tell me all about it because it refers to the movie. Get into detail about it while I shut up.
All right, so we thank you for shutting up. And this movie is really, or I should say, this is the 4th in the series of Kolchak. And it is a direct reference to Kolchak the Night Stalker that took place in, of course, Las Vegas back in January 1972. So here we are in October 1974 is when this airs. In fact, I think it's October the 8th. And originally this was going to be one of the made-for-TV films. So this is going to be like the 3rd in the series, but not the one in Hawaii that originally got scrapped. But this was going to take place in New York, and it was Scorzene's victim and had all the usual characters and everything. But instead, this road construction happens in Las Vegas, and this woman gets a flat tire, and she curses the steel-belted radial that is, that is advertised to her as being something that won't explode. And when she goes to change the tire, we see these really cool hands coming up from the ground.
Oh yeah. Once we get,
and there is
the beginning of this episode. Yeah. It's kind of interesting and kind of cool. But Scorsese, what's the name? Say it again. Scorsese.
I'll let you call it whatever one you want. It's Skorzeny.
Skorzeny. Okay. Skorzeny from the movie The Night Stalker. This victim went missing, like Dave said, and ends up being the main character in this. And the one thing I will say about this episode, and I understand TV is way different than movies, but that was a made-for-TV movie. But listen, I get it. And I think you mentioned too, maybe not now, but before, how it was technically going to be scripted for the 3rd movie that they were going to have out. Yeah. And it was they were going to continue the character of Skorzeny. Okay, I'm moving on from that guy. But it was supposed to be him, and then they got the green light for the series, and they went ahead and changed it up. And boy, did they must have changed it up a lot. Yeah, because it's all about her, the last victim, Catherine Rollins, who went missing and ended up in Las Vegas. She continued her career as a call girl, as we'll find out in this movie. But I tell you, so they don't show her enough in this movie for me. I mean, in this episode, she's at the beginning, and then there's little bits, but I wanted more of her.
That's a good point. I agree. Yeah. That now that I think about it, is she was very distinctly in 3 different points. She was gorgeous, as most hookers should be, and it was very much like Skorzeny, where all she did was hiss for her language.
Yes, no lines.
No lines. I just thought that was really cool. And again, just kind of linking back to the first film.
Yes. Thank you again, Vicky Array, for becoming a channel member. Level 1 support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Sheila Jeffcoat, thank you for being here as we do our shenanigans and talk about this episode, as we always do. It's not your usual straightforward talk. We goof around, I'm kind of like that. So, but listen, so that's kind of the gist of all of that. And she doesn't say any words. She hisses, and that's the episode. Next week we do got the Halloween episode. Oh, what?
I was just gonna say we'll see with werewolf next time.
Yes, the werewolf. There we go. I can't wait to see this episode out of the 4. Dave, I mean, the first one was great, and then it seems like they've all kind of. This one was fantastic, and I think out of the 4, it went up a little bit more, a little bit better. Okay, and there was a lot more shenanigans with Kolchak in this one than the last one. If you agree with me, I don't know, but Vincenzo still is kind of backseat. His character, I don't know if that continues through the rest of the season, which I'll find out, but he's kind of taken a backseat. And that part of this whole thing with Kolchak is the part that I think, looking back on it, is kind of missing a bit. I wish Vincenzo would play more of a role in a lot of what's going on. I know it's all about Kolchak and going out there, but they could have thrown in a few more scenes through all of these episodes so far. We'll see, but that's my thought.
Well, this episode, they didn't even need to be like on the same soundstage recording. No. It was just the only time I really remember Vincenzo, but except for the opening scene, he's on the phone to the other guy in Los Angeles about how he's arrested, and he references his like 14-year-old nephew gets in less trouble than Kolchak does.
Yeah, Vincenzo was a great character. I totally agree. Yes. This was, of course, in 1974. It was 3 years after, so they kind of go in, the order that they should for her being, because at the end of this, and I'm jumping around. Listen, the coroner at the end of this says she's been dead for 3 years. So there's some conflicting things. It's like, how do you have a vampire who's supposed to regenerate, but yet the body is still in a dead state, and he could tell 3 years. I don't know. That was very odd. That was very weird, but I won't go into some deep analysis about that, but I do like the beginning of this, like you said, when the lady, they start right off where the lady kind of pulls, she's in this little vehicle. It's a red car. I almost thought, Dave, that I was in a Giallo film. I'm like, oh, wow. Ooh, the music, the little red car, and how she gets out, 70s looking, and she gets it seemed Giallo, and I was waiting for a slasher to come up and get her, or strangle her, but we get immediately, which is a very cool scene, and probably the best. I think that was the best scene in the episode. I keep wanting to say movie, but the episode, because she's at the car and the hands start to come out of the ground. They're at a construction site, and it looks like she's just laying in the dirt. Yeah. And she's coming out of the dirt, and it's just a cool scene. I really, really like that.
It is a cool scene, but if she had and it was so funny because if she had done this and this and this, I would have loved it. But I was surprised at how fresh the corpse was. And I was also thinking of how lucky the stewardess was for actually escaping, because she didn't really become a victim.
Right. Because she was an airline stewardess. And that whole scene there too, she gets a flat tire. That's why she pulls over off the side of the road. And they do a Bram Stoker type thing too, where she cuts her finger and the blood starts coming out on her finger. And I think that's what has her smell it and comes out. Even though it was nighttime, she should listen. If you're a vampire, as soon as the sun's right on the horizon, you can get up. Don't oversleep. Set your clock. I mean, you got stuff to do, right, Dave?
You do.
Yeah. So, but to what you were saying, when the arms do come out, you said, look, you could see a lot of the makeup that they did try to put on, like this extra skin that you get in those fake Halloween, kits that, they sell at the store now. But that's kind of the opening scene there. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. And
Welcome
to CM.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Then we go to the office where Larry Storch is, and it was so great to see. I think is he Corporal Agarn from F Troop. I forget his name on that.
Oh yeah.
But
you're right.
He is dressed up from right from the 1970s and got his hair.
No, he's dressed in the 1970s.
Oh, he is. He's got that.
Comb over what he always has.
He and Kolchak could have been on a runway together. They've got those thick collars, and they've got that ascot around the neck. And he has made it. He was friends with Kolchak back in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But then he went into TV news.
Yes.
And that's the advice that he gives Kolchak. I wrote it down here. Get a haircut, a new suit, and move to TV.
Yep. That's exactly what he says. And he was coming down there to get money because there's always a thing of gambling going on there too. I think that's what was going on. Exchange of money.
There was a little bit. And we know at the end when he runs away that he still owes Vincenzo like $500, man.
Yeah. And Vincenzo, during that scene at the end of it, because the Swede, he kind of snuck out. He goes, because I guess he owed him the money. And Vincenzo goes, was that the Swede? He was really nice. He wanted to see him. He goes, yeah, he still owes me $500, but he said it in a nice way. So I'm like, it was kind of funny. Ian Sharp, what's going on? Abba dabba dabba. What's going on?
Agarn. So Corporal Agarn is the character he played in F Troop.
Okay. Never seen F Troop, so I don't know.
You have missed out.
Really?
That was one of the wonderful things of growing up when we did is we had F Troop here that would play once or twice on the weekend, and you'd have just a great comedy with, I think, Ken Berry and Forrest Tucker and people like that. It was a great show. It's
Carol Burnett show. Yeah. Good stuff. Although, you know what? I didn't really like Ken Berry on the Carol Burnett show. He was one of those characters I just didn't care for. But anyways, hey, everybody, we have 89 thumbs up.
Nice.
The record is 100 thumbs up by 38 minutes. Let's see if we can beat it. If you guys haven't hit that thumbs up button yet, please do. The last one, I think, was the zombie episode where we hit that and broke that record.
We did.
So 100 thumbs up in 38 minutes. We still got, we still got 20 minutes. So I think we'll beat it. Keep an eye on that, Dave, and everybody else. When we hit 100, we broke the record if it's before 38 minutes. But yeah, getting back to it. So they're in the office. Vincenzo comes up, and what's the other guy, the reporter guy's name? What does Kolchak call him all the time?
Oh, I do not like the other reporter guy that he's always messing with, which I can bring up here in just a moment.
I forget. Updike.
Oh,
Updike.
God. Don't like that character at all.
Yeah.
It's just
Uptight.
To me, it's just too formulaic. They're always this little inter-office rivalry, and Kolchak's always going to best him just by a little bit. And Kolchak and him have this interview that they have to do in Los Angeles with, and I don't even know what you would call that person, some transcendentalist.
Well, okay, so it's a trip to LA to cover a guru, a transcendentalist, like you said. His name is Amira Tamara. Is his name, and you never get to see him the entire episode. You get to see his second in command or whatever it is for like 10 seconds, and then it's gone. But while he's down there, he's constantly trying to, or Vincenzo wants him to get an interview with this guy, which he doesn't get, and we'll go into that in a little bit. But yeah, Amira Tamara He's the guru. So there you go. I got to mention TWM. Have a nice evening, everyone. Good to see you. PBR Street Gang. Good to see you too. Setlick 3 Gaming. Sears James is here. Good to see you, Sears. Yeah, listen. He was in a lot of different things. Thorpe, right? Did I say his name right? Thorpe. Larry Storch, not Thorpe.
Right.
That's something
Larry
totally
Storch
different, Dave. The house has Cooper plumbing. Oh my gosh. 98, 2 away. Holy, this is going to be a record. No, let's sit here, Dave. We need 2 more thumbs up for it. 99, and I must write down the record. 22 minutes for 100 thumbs up. Come on. One more thumbs up.
CM says, what is a vampire's favorite fruit? A blood orange? You're actually wrong. It's a nectarine.
Yes. It's a nectarine. 100 thumbs up. Here we go. 22 minutes, Dave.
That is amazing.
That needs to be written down. 22 minutes. New record for, listen, I don't think that's going to be beat. For 100 thumbs up. Way to go, you guys. Thank you so much. That means an awful lot. For the vampire episode, which I do believe is a lot of people's favorite.
It's a fan favorite. It is ranked highest on IMDb with a couple of others also like around a 7.9.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is definitely a wonderful episode. And
wow, 100
thank you to everyone for the thumbs up.
Yes. Mandy, hello. Love Kolchak New here. Welcome. Big hugs. We're always here every Sunday. We're doing the entire series, so make sure you catch it. But let's move on, Dave, to the to this Amara Tamara. He goes out to LA to see this guru on the Sunset Strip, where the call girls are.
They are.
Yes. So go ahead.
This is one of the times we do get to see Catherine Rollins, and she meets up with some guy who's in a really nice classic car, at least classic today, and he takes her back to his apartment that he shares with someone else. I was almost, the first time I saw this, I thought his wife was walking in, but it was just a roommate. And
yeah, he was roommating with another woman, and the woman, it's very interesting. It was related somehow to Rollins, or am I wrong? Didn't they say that throughout this episode?
I think it was. They do mention her sister, but this is not her sister. Or no, wait, you know what? It may be a different last name, Linda Courtney.
Okay.
And she was originally Rollins, if I'm remembering correctly. Unfortunately, because it is a 55-minute episode, rather than an hour-and-a-half movie, there's a lot of things that don't merge like they should, or aren't explained anyway.
Exactly. So some things, but it was mentioned throughout. I do remember it. Hello, Dave C. Good to see you. They were boyfriend, girlfriend, I thought. Well, not the couple. I was talking about the vampire and the woman, Linda. And I do love, so she comes in, the vampire, Catherine Rollins, and immediately she jumps him. She doesn't give him no chance at anything. No, like erotic interlude or anything like that.
Drink.
No, nothing. I mean, way to get into that scene. But he immediately
knocked over.
Oh yeah. She wraps herself around his body. That was hot, and his neck, and immediately puncture wounds, sucks his blood. But I love when Linda does come through the door with the keys. First of all, he should have had some kind of tie around the doorknob or something.
Totally. Do not disturb.
But Jay Lura says they were boyfriend girlfriend. So she would have just walked in. He's dumb. What's going on there? I don't know. But the quote of the night was what, and I don't have it exactly, but when she jumped Linda after killing the man, he goes, Kolchak is, he goes, the pain of her headache, because she came in early because she had a headache or whatever. The pain of her headache was nothing compared to the pain of her death. And I'm just like going, okay, wait a second. Let me dissect that for a second. How did they know she had a headache? First of all, if she died, I don't, unless she got sent home from work and they interviewed their bosses before. Listen, it made no sense to me, but I thought it was quite funny that her headache is nothing compared to the pain of her death. I thought that was great. But anyways, there we go. And then we move on.
And Becca Too Tall joined us.
Hey, Becca. Good to see you.
She couldn't join us last week, but that's okay. We're not keeping score, Becca.
Yeah, Becca, let me know. How tall are you? Just, throw it out there. I need to know. Because I want to know how much is too tall. Okay? So let us know. If you don't mind, if you want to keep it a secret, please do that too. But so where are we from here? Kolchak's headed somewhere now, right? He's going
Kolchak is now headed to LA, and he is staying at the Roosevelt Hotel, which is a real place, and it's actually a place I have been. Nice. It's right across from the Chinese theater, and where you see things like that from the I Love Lucy episodes, where she steals John Wayne's footprints.
Sweet.
And
it was mentioned that she had a headache. Yeah, during the dialogue, though. But listen, I take your word for it. So it was known beforehand. So when they wrote it down in their reports, they said, yeah, okay, she had a headache. So it makes sense. Becca Too Tall says 6'1". For a woman, listen, I don't think it's too tall. But I think George Costanza would have been really excited over the whole situation. But that's way bigger than average. So
he's stocky.
Yeah,
he's short.
He can lift 100 pounds over his head easily.
Yeah,
easily. Anyway, so the hotel, Dave. Yeah. Talk about this hotel. Listen. It was a nice hotel.
It was, and it is still very, very nice. And it's got like a TV, it's got radio. Kolchak brings his police scanner. So he is all set to go. He's got his typewriter. How would you like to be bringing a typewriter, with you all the time?
We go around with our little whatever, we take it with us, and we got our iPad in there or our iPhone, whatever. But if you're doing stuff like that, it's an iPad or a tablet or a MacBook, whatever. But yeah, he's lugging around a big typewriter and his radio. And can you tell me, Dave, how was it hooked to his radio, the scanner? How did that work? Because he had the radio and the scanner was coming out of that radio, but it looked like he had something connected to it.
It did. I don't know how it works.
Okay. So something in the 70s.
Pike here.
Yes. Why is Steerpike not here? But I think that's a little bit of information that somehow he had some scanner device connected to his radio, because it was even thrown in the fire towards the end of the movie, and he tried getting it out.
Yeah.
The camera. Anyways, complicated. I don't know, but he's at the hotel. Okay.
So he's at the hotel for a very shakes a phone call. Yeah. Finds out he has to go to, which is outside of LA. It's to the way, it's off the 15 freeway. It's to Las Vegas. So the idea is that we're now tracking the vampire. This is the third city where they've, I believe, found someone dead. So it was like Erie, and then Springfield, and then Barstow is the only real city in that group. And he drives out to Barstow, which is not a place you want to go.
Mr. Mitchell was killed, is what they said. But yeah.
Okay.
I think the JLR, I got to mention it real quick. I know I'm always interrupting Dave, but we'll go from where we went. Dino, the spirits last night were very active watching a scary game. My dad's dear head fell off the wall. I am very thankful nothing broke on it. Interesting, JLR. Some paranormal activity. And WTF says, commercial police scanners used to have a radio built in. My dad had one. It was horrible. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that far back. But yeah, Mr. Mitchell, they end up saying was killed. And I can't, I was a little confused on the victims because what they were mostly focusing in on, the police and all that, were those two victims. The guy at the beginning and Linda.
Yeah.
What was the guy's name? I don't even know. But the male at the beginning in the apartment and the woman. Those are the two, but they do mention like a Mr. Mitchell was killed, and then there was somebody up in Vegas that was killed, and I don't know, but yeah, Dave, it's interesting.
Yeah. So now the pathway is in Barstow. They look at the car. They see it's blacked out from the inside, which is really weird. So it's almost like the vampire needed the darkness to
Yeah.
survive, you know, just
Oh
like
yeah.
in Anne Rice's films.
Yes, and in Near Dark, where they would cover up the windows with tape and whatever they could and paper and all that stuff. So they would do the same thing in Near Dark. But yeah, Kolchak comes to the police officer. What was his name? That was with the car. Deputy Sample, played by John Duchette, who was another one who has been in plenty of things. But Deputy Sample is sitting there with his dog, yeah, was there with a really cool little car, that red one that we've seen, but it was painted green, lime green, really weird, and with windows. And he's explaining to the deputy, like, you got, like, everybody's dumb, Dave. Everybody's dumb except for Kolchak, you know?
Well,
It's
he's been
just
through
like,
this before.
I know.
He knows what's going to happen.
But nobody ever believes him, is the whole thing going on there. Should we read these out? They changed the format of radio transmissions, and now you have to have special type of scanner to listen in. Yeah, things have changed. I wish I would have kept my old scanner from like 20 years ago. I could pick up things that I can't now, and things I would miss out on. Let's see. WTF says vampire woman can do that to a young man. Okay, he starts. Okay, so anyways, we're coming up to another scene now. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, I was going to say that kind of sounded a little bit like Art Bell. You wonder what he picked up with the
Right.
short range and long range and all those cool things.
Ham radio stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
Now we're in the Hollywood Hills, basically, to meet Amerta Mira. And
Amara Tamara.
all right. Hey, man, I'll say Scorsese. You can say the other word.
Amara Tamara. Okay.
And they go to this really famous Hollywood house.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is this was in a couple episodes of Columbo, at least 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
And
Rockford Files and
yeah.
a couple others. Yeah.
And it's a home I would love to go to, but I think they've bulldozed it. And now it's like a big compound hotel type of place, but it's like way far up in the hills.
Yeah.
And when you get there, there's a woman, and first of all, there's a limousine shooting past Kolchak, and we know that he's just missed his interview, which it's Kolchak, right?
Yeah.
So he goes into the house and he meets the co-star, which is going to be the real estate agent, and she's going to be writing his article for him.
Yeah, Kathleen Nolan as Faye Kruger in the episode.
And a person I honestly did not care for as far as an actress goes. And I know she was big into, like, I think she was director of the Screen Actors Guild or something like that in her life. But I think it's the 70s hair and the clothes that give me the vampire.
Well, yeah, she had and I'll continue that in a second. Hold on. Ray's fan, good to see you. Welcome to Sunday night, talking about Kolchak here. Most police and fire in the big cities have gone digital. Yes, they're on a P25 or whatever. That's trunk systems and all that stuff. So there are scanners out there that can decode those too. But, a lot of police officers, and I know because it's kind of in my family, they use their cell phones. They don't really go over this unless they really have to get dispatched. So they really go phone to phone now. But anyways, that's the whole nother story. So the woman you're talking about is a real estate agent. And at first she's showing the the apartment or the house and all of that stuff. And yeah, there is something about her that not just the looks or anything like it, but her mannerisms and the way she goes about as her character through the rest of the episode. She's I'm not going to say ditzy, but she wants to be this reporter. She can't spell correctly. She's writing a terrible article in Kolchak. It's a funny exchange between them throughout the episode because he just kept saying, yeah, go ahead, write it. Yeah, I'll proofread it a little bit later. But she is kind of just an offhanded character that really don't mean nothing in the long run.
Right. And I think it's the first time for me where Kolchak did not team up with a gorgeous sidekick. You know, we've got Carol Lindley, we've got the other lady from the second film, and then this lady just didn't do it for me compared to what Kolchak normally gets to hang out with.
Yeah, and, Mandy likes like the real estate agent.
That's cool. That's cool. I can appreciate that.
Yeah. I think just it's her character. I don't know. She just didn't. I mean, she wasn't. She, like you said, maybe she wasn't the most beautiful out of all of the women that have played roles in this. And I did think that she was going to like kind of connect a bit with him in that same way.
Yeah.
And she didn't. She didn't.
Right.
She was just like an offhanded character who really didn't matter. So I think that's what we're talking about here.
But we need her real estate skills later in the episode.
Yes, that comes in handy. So yeah.
And I don't know if you caught this, but the people that she was showing the house to when they were leaving didn't like the house.
No,
and she was going to go show them Basil Rathbone's house next. That was
she said that. She said that. I heard that. Basil Rathbone. I'm like going, can I come? Yeah. But that was pretty cool. But he was kind of a snob and he needed a basement. And she said something about him having issues if there wasn't a basement. He said, "Oh, ta-ta, I do have a wine collection that needs to be chilled," and whatever. But he tags her along to write this article while he goes off trying to capture this vampire. They made her kind of needy, says J. Lura. Yeah, I get that. Any methinks in there or dost those. What? WTF? What the hell? Willie Abe, what's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. Two hey-heys to you, Willie Abe. Yeah. Okay, so Dave, next we approach, I do believe, the police briefing.
Yes, I think that is next.
Yes, I can't wait. How many thumbs up we got? 113. Way to go, people. Love it. So we are at the police briefing where we meet Lieutenant Jack Mateo. Go ahead, Dave.
Yes, and what did you think about William Daniels?
As the lieutenant in this one?
Yeah, because we've had, one of the cool things we've had, again, with this series is we've had some really good police chiefs. Even in the last episode with the UFOs.
Yeah.
It was a great police chief. And this guy was a little bit on the younger side. This guy was a little bit on the better looking side, very 70s, probably not old enough to really be that mature guy like Claude Akins was.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed him as the police chief.
I did too. I thought it was it was certainly different than the lieutenants that we've seen in the past. We started off with that really, on edge, like I need some milk of magnesia, Pepto-Bismol and everything, those kind of lieutenants. This guy, like you said, was just a younger guy, and he still was putting pressure on Kolchak, but not to the extent that the other ones really did, even though he kind of just kept ignoring him and withholding kind of stuff. Evidence and all that, but it was a different kind, and I did enjoy his character. It was okay. I liked it.
I did not. Now, first of all, I have never watched Boy Meets World, so
no, me neither.
Okay, so I did not know him from that, but when I was listening, I'm like, I know this guy's voice, and it wasn't until I realized, if you think about it, this is the guy from Knight Rider. This is Kit. And I kept waiting for him to say, "Hello, Michael."
Hello, Michael. That was him? Okay, see, I didn't know that.
That's him. He is the voice of Kit from Knight Rider.
Nice. Okay.
And
Ginmar.
also,
God, I love this movie. Good to see you. Welcome to the channel. As well as who's the other one? Did I see? Oh no, Mac Breck has been here before. What's this about? Are you talking about Faye Kruger, Kathleen Nolan? I thought she was fairly attractive, but she was kind of nerd. Yeah, that's what Dave was saying. I mean,
yeah,
I didn't get the looks side
it
of it. She
no,
wasn't bad, but
but it's that bewitched haircut, and I think that's what really got me.
yeah. Listen, I agree with Dave. She's not like the other women we've seen in the other episodes. Which one? What was it? Was it the first one, Dave? I mean, we really had a looker in that one. Anyways, let's continue. Let's continue.
All right.
Um,
So
but
we've left the police chief. We're back in the hotel room. It seems that Vincenzo's been calling quite a bit.
oh wait, Dave.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't want to overlook the police briefing because while they're there, there's a whole lot going on, and Kolchak is kind of trying to get as much. He does his thing where he eventually he says, "Were there puncture wounds?" And there is some other female reporter, who keeps asking the good questions, like why was there this? Because basically the lieutenant comes out and says that there's Satan worshipers. Of course,
Right.
this is what they always say. There's Satan worshipers, and they had some suction device with them that sucked the blood from the victims. And he goes on to say human blood is usually drank during the Sabbath and all that. So he's making it sound like it makes sense. It's funny because this scene kind of reminds you of the real world, where things that happen that shouldn't be, they give you very convincing evidence and then go upon their way and do the really. Anyways, I'm being nutty here a little bit, but it is true. But but he's going on all about that, and I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, and Sirius James also mentions that he was in St. Elsewhere. It was a show I didn't watch, but I do remember him.
Okay.
On that.
And she can wiggle her nose in the house. Oh boy!
Which, by the way, they just bulldozed the Bewitched house here.
Oh, they bulldozed a lot of houses. Like the mansion at the end of this movie was also in the Norless tapes, which was another Dan Curtis film. So he used the mansion that they use at the end, which we'll talk about that when we get to it too.
Okay.
Anyways, so Satan worshipers, all that stuff, and Kolchak intervenes during this scene, this briefing, and says, "Are there puncture marks?" And people are going, "What?" And he goes, "Who are you again?" And he gives a fake like Max newspaper agency.
Manchester, like he tries to pretend he's from England.
And he gets the heck out of there, and he disappears really quick back to the hotel. So you take it from there. Although, let's see, what did Tom Moose 1B loved the realistic quality Phantom of the Opera mask. That's what they call an original bus. Yes, nice. P.S. Love Kolchak, and I'll be 60 this December. Darren McGavin was made for that part. Tom, good to have you on board. We'll be going through all of the Kolchak episodes, so stick around every Sunday. They're not every Sunday, but we eventually get to all of the Kolchaks. So good to see you. Welcome. Go on, Dave.
We've got 16 more to do. So that's at least 4 whole months of Kolchak.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So we're going to be busy.
Yeah.
But Kolchak is getting calls from Vincenzo, and he doesn't want to talk to him because he didn't get the story, and his real estate person is working on the story. And she's
there with him. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's using some very Shakespearean language in her writing, which is fine, but definitely not Kolchak's style.
No.
And so
I like how he kept turning over to her every time she said a word, because he's like, "What are you writing? I'm going to have to rewrite this whole thing anyways." But anyways.
So Kolchak, thinking swiftly, grabs his razor and pretends it's a 747. And he's all, sorry, I can't hear you, Vincenzo, and got these planes right here. And, Vincenzo asks him a question, and he goes, oh, the T-bone was great, and the chocolate mousse was great, and all of that. So
get me hungry again. He does get a call right before that, though. He calls up to Las Vegas. Frank, he gets Frank on the phone from Las Vegas, and he says, have you got that list of missing persons? Remember? And there's 87 people missing. And he goes, oh my God, that's a lot of people. I mean, listen, that ain't really a lot of people, but not by today's standards that go missing every day. But he's got a list of people, and Catherine Rollins is in that list of people, we will eventually find out. So that's kind of how he narrows some stuff down. But then, he starts, the interaction between him and the real estate agent. And I think that's pretty much that scene.
And then we start driving down, I think it's Hollywood Boulevard or Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. And what was one thing that was really funny was when he closes the door of the hotel room. Yeah. I don't know if you caught this, but you can tell it's a fake set because the whole wall shifted. And
did it? They pulled an Ed Wood.
Oh man, all the pictures on the wall just where it got slammed back up against the wall. But he's driving down the Sunset Strip and looking up, maybe foreshadowing, he sees the big cross on the hill.
Yes.
Which is going to be where the show's going to end.
Yes. It's a landmark, I guess, in Hollywood. I mean, at least they say it in here. Is it really a true landmark?
I don't think so. I've never seen that cross. But
okay.
He's back. Now he's back at the place where that guy was killed. And
back at the apartment.
As he's going through the stuff, the guy goes, you hear the police chief going, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And he doesn't immediately throw him out or anything like that. They kind of have a meeting of the minds together.
Yeah. Real quick. And then quickly he has to say, bring up the word vampire. And that's going to become from this point forward kind of the word that the lieutenant just does not want to hear. Because I think he knows something. He knows everything he's saying is true, because the back and forth is constantly, I haven't said anything to the press about puncture marks or anything like that. So, I'm not sure where you would get that or anything like that. And he's basically saying, well, I know what's going on. I'm doing my research. I know this. You know what I mean? So there's kind of that going on. And then eventually does have him run off again out the door where he meets,
I don't know what you would call him, the janitor?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's funny that he does say plumber, I'm the janitor, painter, whatever I am.
Whatever you want me to be.
But the discussion between him and Kolchak is quite interesting. If you remember what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Because it's he's not interested really in helping the police.
No.
But he'll help a reporter. And I don't know if he just wanted to see his name in print or anything like that. It kind of reminded me a little bit of that Wally Cox character that we saw in The Night Strangler. Yeah. But it's just hey, thanks for even recognizing who I am and what I do. And it was funny because he was this is where we start to realize that this woman is a hooker, and he's all I forget what's we are introduced to Grace's Catering Company, the name of that for the first time.
Gracie's Catering Service. Yes. He mentions that too to them. The interesting thing, Dave, that I thought about this, and I do agree, Sir James, too much plot, not enough vampire woman. Exactly. Golf for fun. Good to see you here. Welcome. Yeah, Me Channel plays it. I heard that they stopped playing it, but I could be wrong. Somebody mentioned to me that it's not being aired on there no more. Am I wrong? Are they wrong? I mean, the discussion between Kolchak and this plumber outside the door of that apartment I thought it was weird that Kolchak started asking him about all of the clothes in the apartment. In the apartment, and it's like, how the heck would he know unless he's one of those janitors or plumber or whoever, that building maintenance that comes in, and when they're in there, they're checking out all your stuff and your that's why I would not like anybody coming into my apartment or home or anything like that.
Yeah, that is odd now that you mention it.
I thought that was weird.
So I did not catch that.
Okay, yeah, no, that caught me. And the other thing caught me off weird is when he shows me, he goes, "Yeah, I'm with the INS newspaper," like he's with the FBI, and that guy goes, "Oh, yes," like he's parting his, fixing his hair and stuff, like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I want to be a star," or something, like, just to give you him. But anyways, yeah, then we move on. I don't think it's just short-lived, but go on, Dave.
Well, then he realizes the link between the two people, and also this is where we get to meet who runs Gracie's catering service, which to me harkened back to, I don't want to say the mob people, but the syndicate people in Chicago. And
gangsters. We own a restaurant and we do our business outside this restaurant,
Because he goes up to Catherine Rollins, who's like picking up on some other guys picking up on her, and he just like pushes him away. He like wheels his chair over to the side, says, this is not your speed, just go away. And he picks her up to work for him in this quote unquote catering company.
Yes. And Ichabod, the pimp owner, and pimp and owner of the restaurant, gangster, whatever. Yeah, however that works. But
it's so funny. I looked in his list of credits, and he doesn't really ever play another character that's like this. I'm like, I would have expected him to be in The Godfather or something.
Right, or at least in the TV show where that's his character. He's always going to play kind of like a mob guy or something like that, or a creepy guy or villain or something. I don't know, but so we're introduced to Gracie's catering service. It's going to play a big role in all of this stuff. And then I think we're back at the hotel room, and he comes back again, and she's typing away the real estate. I liked how he dropped her off earlier. He told her to get in like the room, and the guy at the front door is kind of like, what's going on here? But anyway, she's in there typing away, and she doesn't know what she's doing. She's not going to be a reporter. But I love, Dave, the yellow pages. I remember looking through those yellow pages, and you get the display, the ads, and you can, you would put all the like 10% off on Sundays or something, or call. I mean, things were just so different.
They absolutely were.
Oh my God. It's funny how something as simple as the yellow pages being opened up, and you could kind of see the little ads that would be put in there. I'm so nostalgic.
It would be something that I would love to do to my students, to show them, like, what do you think you do with this? Well, I have no idea.
I think I need to look for some old yellow pages from my area. I think that's what I need to do. And just spend a night, with my old time radio on in the back, and just going through the pages, the good ones. I don't want to go through the attorneys, which I think took up the first quarter of the yellow pages. Yeah, it's like, okay, halfway through we get to the restaurants. Okay. Anyways, I know we got to get through this.
That's okay. But anyway, Vincenzo is another cameo appearance, and he calls Kolchak, saying that, I know that you were using a razor, because when I started shaving this morning, it was like a 747 was flying, over the bathroom. So he calls him on that, and then he starts reading the story back to him. And the real estate person who was writing it was all into talking about the copper pipes of this place, and all the different rooms. And he's all, I'm not looking for a real estate listing. I'm looking for this interview with Mira Mera, Yeah.
It was kind of a funny twist on that part of it, where she just nothing near what she should be writing, but it's funny. He also when he does bring out the yellow pages, looks up Gracie's catering service, and he calls it up, and he basically asks for a woman of the night, and he's expecting to get Catherine Rollins to come here, and he tells Ichabod, he says, could she be here at 4 a.m., closer to when the sun is going to rise, you know what I mean, so that he can use the daylight into, for his means to kill her or whatever. But he said, no, I think 10 or 11, somewhere around, I don't know. And
just after 8.
Just after 8. Okay, there you go.
It's going to be an early evening.
Yeah, and it's funny because he as the real estate agent is looking at him the whole time, the conversation, and she's like, oh, he's calling a call girl. I get, she's picking up on it, what's going on, and she doesn't say nothing, but as she's going out the door, he asks her for her lipstick. And I thought,
you wonder what he was going to do with that if she thought he was a cross-dresser or something like that. Like, why would you be needing this? And,
well, at first I was thinking that too. I'm like, what does he need the lipstick for? But then we figure it out. Yeah. What's going on here?
I was just reading. There's got so many large chats now in the.
Okay, real quick. Let me see before we get to the next scene. Let me make sure. And I see some new people coming in here. I kept an old telephone book from a few years ago. I saw still can cure businesses need. Nice. Okay. Fulton Pierce, good to have you. Welcome. Really blow their minds and show them a rotary phone like the one Miss Emmy used in the Nightly Murders. LOL. Very cool, Fulton Pierce, right, Dave?
Yes.
Sunshine, yellow, and terracotta. Okay, what's this? But Kolchak reads it with some kind of reaction like amazement and agrees with everything Vincenzo says. Like I really guess or write that. Okay. Thank you, Connie Clary, for that. Become a channel member at Patreon. Thank you. And Ice. Oh, no, that's Lee Sullivan. Ice. Where did I get that from? In the X-Files, Mulder said Kolchak is the father of the X-Files. Yes, we say that every time we cover this, Kolchak. So I know you're new here. Welcome, Lee Sullivan. Welcome. Sandy Bofa. Texting not working well. I hear you. It's a tough thing to do. Lipstick joke was funny, says Mandy. Fulton Pierce says, hey, Night Freight Talk Show. What's going on? Thumbs up number 124.
Awesome.
Love that they actually had Darren in one X-Files episode, was too sick to do a follow-up episode. Yep, very sad. But when he did take the lipstick, he put a big cross on the door with it, Dave. And I'm like, is that going to work? Just the image of a cross, I guess?
Well, it does, at several levels. And we'll see that when he gets attacked with the LA Ram incident.
Yeah.
But
well, that's an actual. Anyways, go on. Yeah.
Well, what's great is when he calls for the call girl.
Yeah.
They're all like, "What's the name?" And he's all Tony. So it's like Tony Vincenzo's calling. But they get back up to the hotel room. He does the cross. She comes in.
Lights are off. And door slams. And well, you hear him. You hear her go, Tony.
Totally. And you know what it reminded me of was the movie Clue, where it's like, oh, they know every inch of my body. They know who I am.
Oh man.
I love it because the actress here, who I actually thought was very attractive, Anne Whitfield, she says, quote, which freako scene is this?
Yeah, because Kolchak slams the door, turns around, has the cross up, and she's like going, what the hell? And she was ready to figure out what she has to do. I don't know, doing her job.
Yeah. And then later on in their conversation, she calls him father, like he's a reverend.
Yes.
I laugh so much. And he's all, "You're not Catherine Rollins," and she's all, "Well, you're not Marcella Mastriani either."
Oh my God.
One
Yeah,
of my
yeah,
favorite
that
parts of the whole film.
that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
WTF, I thought it was great. Sandy, but I'm gonna call Kolchak Pulchak from now on. Okay. But yeah, so she sits her down and he's asking questions about Catherine Rollins and stuff like that, and she's just being a call girl and sitting there. And I thought I wrote down sent another girl, and she said, "Well, you know what? Even though I'm still here, I still need my $200." And I went, "What?" That's a lot of money. That's a high class call girl for 74.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
It is.
I mean, that's like $1,000 today. That's 2,000. Wow, is that true, Dave?
Yeah, that's the.
Did you do that research before?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God, Dave is he is a professor. What else can I add down for him?
I don't know.
Rain Man, also Rain Man.
Thanks,
Okay, so are we to the football player? Thanks.
BERN burn.
Are we to the football player now? What did I miss anything?
Where now he has met Ichabod, and Ichabod is like being briefed that, hey, this is really a vampire. And they always talk about too, like him and the previous call girl were talking about like how she makes how she wears a lot of makeup and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that girl's like a cake on. Yeah, I don't know how thick a makeup on there and stuff. But yeah, he was really giving it to Ichabod, man. He was just saying, "Listen, you're in this deep, man. You know, it's like Johnny Dollar. You're in this too deep. You know, I can call the police right now and get you in trouble." And then he backs off. He says, "Okay, yes, this is where she lives." I think this is when he tells Kolchak where her residence is, right? No,
it's where she's at, which is Stacker's place.
Okay, that's right.
And that's right. Stacker, who's Stacker? And he goes, "Man, you're not into sports, man." And Stacker's like playing for the LA Rams. And it was a weird scene because like he's making out with Catherine Rollins on the floor. Things are getting hot and heavy. And then like his friends kind of sneak in and they're like,
the other football players are coming in real macho like, you know,
they got a beer in their hands and stuff like that. And then she looks up and she hisses. So we know that the guy is dead. Yeah. And she starts throwing these football players like they are throw pillows.
Oh yeah. Tossing them left and right. And And then the police come in, you know, and isn't that what happens next? Am I wrong?
Police come in, yeah. After she throws the guy through the fireplace, which is really cool. And Kolchak pulls up the andirons and he makes the cross and she like hisses. The police come in, they look, and she's gone. She's out the window.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting too that they didn't arrest Kolchak like immediately or anything like that. They were actually like, hey, there's some serious stuff that's going on here.
Well, yeah, they also there's interchange with the lieutenant again, and you know, he's sick of hearing him say the vampire, and he tells him this time, "You do not say that vampire word. You do not say it no more." And because he gets the call from Vincenzo on the phone there in this apartment. And he starts trying to tell him what's going on and everything, but he can't say vampire. And what did he say? He said something really odd. He was trying to describe that there was something weird like a vampire going on, but he couldn't say the word.
I think he ends up saying warlock at the end.
Something like that. Yeah, it was interesting, but pretty much just you know, I guess wants him to come home, and he's going to end up going back to the hotel and start packing up and get ready to go, right?
Yep, police escort right back to the hotel.
Has to go back to Chicago, but he gets an idea, right, Dave, with that real estate lady.
He does. So they start looking for a place where she's going to be able to live, and it brings them to this mansion.
Yes, a decayed mansion. Uh, and it took so long to find it because they went through a list of properties and owners and all that. And when they finally got there, the sun was down. So he had no chance to really investigate without this vampire being up and risen. So, and she wasn't around. So I don't know whether he left her in the car or left her back, and he was checking the addresses.
And I don't think we see her ever again in the episode.
No.
But fun fact, do you know who used to own this property?
I don't know who used to own it, but I know that this property was in the movie The Norliss Tapes, and Dan Curtis used this.
All right.
But go ahead. Who owned it?
In the early 2000s, our friend Johnny Depp owned it.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. But I think it's kind of gone now, right? Am I wrong?
That I don't know. I believe it is actually still standing.
Okay.
But it's gone. It has a very rich history of people who have owned it.
Oh, it looked like a really, really nice house. Listen, I mean.
And I mean, you're looking up, it's like, it overlooks Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
You know, so it's prime residential real estate.
Man, I tell you, some people got it good. Anyways, so he's trying to get in, and he's creeping around this decayed mansion, which doesn't look really decayed, but it's a good adjective to give to it, right, Dave?
Yes, I wish we could have gone in it, and I wish there could have been a chase scene. I wish there would have been. And I think he looked and found the coffin, but the coffin was outside. Like,
well, he lifted it up as if it would be, but I think it was something that I don't think it was a coffin.
Okay.
I mean, I could be wrong. You could be right. But it looked like just some kind of wooden thing that when he squeaked it open, I thought it was just like a box type thing or something. It didn't look like a coffin to me, but you could be right.
Well, at this point too, he's kind of like climbing up on all the grid work and the lattice work that's all cast iron, and it's cheap cast iron because it's like pulling.
Oh, it's wobbling. Yeah. Well, you know what else I thought was funny though when he was walking all around, Dave, was it's a decayed mansion, and they talked about that. There were nice, beautifully watered live plants all around the place.
Yeah.
So, it stuck out to me. I'm like, oh, somebody's taking care of the plants at least, but.
Very much so.
Yeah.
But then we also hear the famous hiss, so we know that she is around. And we do this like 2 or 3 times. And it was very reminiscent of the first film when he's moving around the house and we hear Scorsese hissing. And he's got that old aluminum or silver looking flashlight,
Okay, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I remember my grandparents having one of those.
Oh yeah, the real big one. And they said never go out without them, and it had like a bunch of D batteries in it.
Like 4D batteries. You could bash someone over the head with that.
And I think those 4D batteries only lasted like 20 minutes.
Probably. I
could be wrong, but yeah, Kolchak is she jumps him, and he's able to get her pushed off of him. They're supposed to have superhuman strength. There's no way that he would have been able to push her off. But then he gets the cross in there, and she's.
Yeah, and then we get to see her outfit, which must be her day off or something. Yeah. Because it looked like something Larry Storch wore at the beginning of the film.
Yeah, but very casual like.
But
yeah.
One thing I absolutely loved on this is she does catch up to him and attacks him, but as their arms are around each other, he's got a cross and he puts it to her back, and it burns, it sizzles, and I thought that was the coolest effect.
It was the coolest effect. I did like that. I like the idea that he did that, but I still was going. And of course, you gotta put off what really could happen. The strength. She should have bit him immediately, but he had time while she was on top of him to put that cross on her back and burn her. And he's working her up this dirt path. And hello, Janice Lohman. Kolchak was my favorite. I almost said Janis Joplin. I've seen all of them. Wish they'd have done more. Yeah, TV series just didn't do it.
Yeah.
Hot Cocoa Audio is here. What's going
But,
on?
That's one
Welcome,
thing.
Hot Cocoa.
And yes, welcome, Hot Cocoa. I did not see him put the circle of gasoline around. I saw him bringing the gasoline tank up, but it surprised me when he burns her and she like jumps away and he lights the rag on fire and he throws it. And then we have this perfect circle around the cross and the cross goes up. Very theatrical, but I didn't see him douse everything with
right.
gasoline.
I think just limited time. It was. I think they were going for a similar end scene as Kolchak the Night Stalker, the made for TV movie. At the end of that, which was fire. In that. Oh no, it was electrocution in the water. I take that back. So right, Dave. He took the long lines of electricity off of
that was the first the series.
Was that the first
movie? That's when like his friend from the FBI comes in and they see him hammering the stake through his heart and he gets arrested for murder.
Okay, so Dino's getting a little confused.
Yeah, it's the Ripper episode, I think, is where he gets electrocuted.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Ted.
Because the Ripper guy lived long. Okay, and to kill him. Okay, got it. I just wanted to welcome Hot Cocoa Audio again. It's always good to see new people here. Very good to have you here in the chat and the channel. Thank you for subscribing. I thought it was quite odd. He does put and I did see him bring the tank of gas too when he exited the car to go up to the mansion. Right. And I'm like going, okay, so he's going to burn the house down or something like that. But when he ran up that dirt path and made a fire circle and the fire cross, I was wondering, why did she basically pass out? She was like out. Not pass out, but she was out.
Yeah.
What I in vampire lore, I never remember any of that. Like the fire, the ring of fire, the cross, actually knocking you out to the state of where he brings out his wooden stake and mallet. And he starts to pound through the heart with no. So that was some vampire lore I never. Listen, they made it up, so it would work for the series.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
But I thought it was a very dramatic ending with the cross on fire, the circle, and then you see him pounding that stake into her heart just as all the police and fire and rescue show up, and they don't stop him. They don't shoot him like they do in The Omen. Sorry, for ruining that 40-year-old movie. But
no. But they do book him for murder.
They do. But they release him 12 hours later.
Yes. During that fire scene, the cross and all that, and afterwards, the aftermath of that, I thought was funny because he went on about talking about, yes, it was a landmark and I was going to have to pay for it out of my own pocket to
couldn't get it on the expense account.
Yeah, he couldn't put it on the expense account for the paper, but yeah, they did release him 11 hours later, and I do like the end scene where it kind of closes the gap between the Night Stalker, Kolchak the Night Stalker, the movie, Skorzeny. Say it, Dave.
Yep, Skorzeny.
Skorzeny. There you go. Can't say it, people. Skorzeny. He calls up and he gets information about the coroner. And the coroner said that it's funny. It just doesn't make any sense. But the corpse had been dead for 3 years. Yeah. Bringing us back to the death of Skorzeny and the missing Catherine Rollins.
Right.
So and there you go. Yeah. So
a medical conundrum of which I have no explanation.
There you go. There you go. Odie Dillon, what's going on? Harry Scott, Hi Boy Donuts, what's going on, my friend? Let's see. What else did we get? You must have Janice Loman. You just have to root for Kolchak. He's his own worst enemy. Way too curious. LOL. No one but Darren could have done the role, in my opinion. Yeah, it's funny. Even at the beginning of the show, when he was going to get sent to LA, and he was kind of he hears everything, and if there's something strange going on, like with the Swede was talking about something, some killings and some weird stuff, and he was trying to get it out of him and couldn't. But yeah, no, this was a very very good episode. They're all great. Some lesser than others, but I wish we had more of the vampire Catherine Rollins in this, and Dave wishes we had less of the real estate agent in this. Give her more time and just don't worry about printing up that article.
Yeah, maybe it was the thus thous that she was doing.
Yeah. 10 stars for the series Night Stalker. Yeah, listen, I will give you my overall impressions when I see the entire season.
Yeah.
How about that? But yeah.
After we're done, we should probably do a wrap-up episode of the entire season.
Yes, and we will do that. And we will give you our thoughts on like this and how it compares to X-Files. Is it better? Are there other shows similar to this that are better? For what it is, the two made-for-TV movies, top of the list. Okay. So far, Jack the Ripper is probably my favorite episode. This one is probably second out of the four we've seen. Zombie, and then whatever that title was. We are, you are, there are, you are, whatever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So that's kind of my ranking. We could do a ranking at the end of this if we remember.
I think we should.
Yeah. So
we should also fit in the Norlis tape somewhere along through here as well.
Yeah.
Because I think it's kind of with Dan Curtis and everything.
Okay. At the Late Horror Show. Let's see. I like the show. Let's see what OD Dillon says. And Darren McGavin so much. I made a superhero in a MMO based on him. MMO. What's an MMO? I
have no idea.
I don't know what MMO means, OD Dillon. Let me know.
We didn't know what goat meant last week.
What meant?
Goat.
Well, the way I didn't know the way they used it. He's a goat. A goat's good. Okay. Anyways, the original X-Files says Ichabod. Okay. I mean, yes. Oh, look at that. Yojimbo avatar. Look at you. Like that. You're all right in my book. Akira Kurosawa. Listen, he's one of the best, man.
And you can't say Scorsese.
And I can't say Scorsese. Yeah, whatever. And VHS Vengeance is a real horror movie. No. Massive multiplayer online game named Kolchak. Really? And it revolves around the character of Kolchak? Wow. Okay.
Now, Becca asks what the radio chat's going to be tonight.
Okay, Becca. Overnight tonight. What the hell did I put together? I got The Whistler. I picked out some really, really good episodes of The Whistler. They're all time-stamped. Listening back to the Whistler, Dave, so much. I mean, they do draw from The Shadow. You know what I mean? The Man in the Shadows. The Whistler is somewhat kind of in that same vein. I mean, The Shadow gets all of the love, but The Whistler, we have like 500 something episodes of The Whistler, and it is in the same vein, and it is so good. I think more people should give The Whistler a shot. I think it's underrated old time radio show. But The Whistler, The Whistler tonight. And the coming week is going to be the same as this past week. Thursday, we are going to have name that classic 1970s horror movie quote on Thursday night game night. And Saturday night game night is going to be, is that a real horror movie title from the 1970s? So we're going to the decade of the 70s this week. So it's going to be fun. And then me and Dave on Sunday will have Halloween Spectacular. Fun all around, right, Dave?
Absolutely. Great Halloween.
What am I going to be trying?
I'm sorry?
What am I going to be trying on that Halloween Spectacular?
I have no idea. Oh, candy corn. Candy corn.
Yes. I am going to get a few different bags of various flavors of candy corn that I've really never tried before because I'm an original OG candy corn kind of guy.
Only one kind. Only one kind.
Yeah.
You know what I
do?
I mean, let me ask you, how do you eat your candy corn?
Oh, you know what? I was just going to explain that. It's funny that you said that. Holy heck. The way because yes, I was going to explain this. Candy corn, the originals, that's shaped like the original. I put it in my mouth like all candy and look at my mouth's dripping already because I'm talking about it. I put it in there and I let it kind of melt a little bit. And then I start to slowly with my front teeth. This is very in-depth. My front teeth. I start to cut away like a butcher would shave meat.
Yeah.
I cut away at the small part, the tip of it, and I just let it melt, and you chip off a little bit of it at a time until you get to the back big part of it. And with each little nip, it melts away, and you get that flavor of that candy corn in your mouth. And that's the way I eat my candy corn. It takes a long time. But that's a good thing because, listen, I know it's bad for you.
Yeah. So
if you put one in your mouth and it's taking like 5 minutes because you're just letting it set, that's the way you should eat your candy and your sweets. Very slowly. Let it melt. Let your taste buds soak it in. Don't take a candy bar, Dave, and go, I mean.
Are you saying I should cut it with a fork and a knife?
Well, no, you can do that, but just very delicate. Let that first bite last a while. Live to eat. Don't eat to live,
All right.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Harry Scott says pure sugary goodness. Amen to that.
Now, do you also do candy corn year round, or is this just a fall treat for you?
It is just a fall treat for me. I don't see it around. I don't know if I just don't notice it. I don't know if it's there all year round. It probably is.
Okay.
In one way or the other. But no, it's fall that I usually go ahead and get it. Melting in mouth, like doing that with the Tootsie Roll. Well, again, Black Roses. I do that for everything. A Tootsie Roll. If it's a what do you call those little round chocolate balls it's filled with soft, gooey chocolate in the middle? What are those called, Dave?
You have me totally lost.
Anyways, you got to let that melt. You take a piece of Hershey bar. That's why they're made in squares. You break them all off into a pile of squares, okay? And you take one, you let it melt for a few minutes. I'm getting way too deep into that.
I don't like anything melting.
Really?
I like everything. I mean, if it is melting in your mouth, that's one thing. But for me, I have to have my candy cold.
Okay.
And so like all my chocolate bars, things like that are in the refrigerator.
Oh, thank you, Janice. It's truffles. So you get it hard in the refrigerator and you chew it hard.
Yep.
Oh, that's
but then you let it. It's with tea, ice cold Hershey milk chocolate, because there's no other good chocolate with iced tea. That is my favorite summertime treat. Watching I Love Lucy on TV. That is the perfect world. That is what heaven is like. If it's not like that, I don't want to get involved.
Oh, I love that. Okay, very good. You heard it all here first from Dave Plouffe. Yeah, no, that's an interesting way. Cool. See, yeah, I mean, two different ways, two different points of views.
Odie Dillon just brings up candy corn pumpkins. I don't like candy corn pumpkins. I just like triangles.
Okay.
And that's it. I think the pumpkins are too packed, too sugary. There's something about the density of the center of them I don't like. Talk about weird.
No, that's exactly what I was saying with the pointed, the like shape of the original candy corn. It's like you can nip at because it's so small, that you're getting just tiny bits of the sugary goodness. But
for me, and the way I eat candy corn is I eat it by section.
Okay.
I don't put it in my mouth like you do and reverse eat. I take the very tip, the white.
Yeah.
Then I take the middle chunk, the orange, and then I take the end, the yellow, and I have to divide it up that way. So I actually get 3 bites out of a piece of candy corn. And if my students are watching this ever, I apologize. But thank you.
That's I do that at times too. As you bring it up, I remember I do that too. Because you're getting 3 kind of different flavors there. There is a difference in each one of those. You know what I mean? So yeah. No, I get you. Frozen Reese cups are the best. Listen, that I do agree. Hot cocoa. Put your Reese cups in the freezer and nibble at that. And that is really, really good. Especially the thick ones, the thick Reese cups. Man, my mouth is just watering so much here. I think we're going to have to end it before you guys see something drip out of the corner of my mouth. That would be so disturbing and so disgusting.
Especially if it wasn't blood.
That's
a vampire.
Yeah. Now candy canes and minty swords. Okay, yeah. Put that in your coffee or your tea or hot cocoa. Hot cocoa. You put a little candy cane in there and you stir it around. You get that little minty sweet.
And I would say, Sears James, frozen Kit Kats and chocolate milk were my go-to.
Listen, this is we should
continue next week, though.
We went off on a tangent, and this should be what we're talking about on the Halloween Spectacular. Anyway.
Yes.
Jay Lura, you guys are not alone. I eat my candy corn the same way since I was a kid. Very cool. Okay, you know what? We do have to go. Listen, let's see what we ended with thumbs up. 139 thumbs up. We had a new record today, Dave. 22 minutes to get to 100 thumbs up. People love Kolchak, and we do as well. Yes. I am so glad that Dave let me know about Kolchak 5 years ago. And it took me a long time to get to it. Dave and Dino, do you eat candy bars with a knife? Listen, I eat my M&Ms with a spoon. But anyways, enough Seinfeld. So me and Dave will see you next week. And stay tuned for what the week rolls out with. So there you go. We are approaching Halloween and lots of the Halloween party again, the 28th. Patreon members and channel members can come onto the stream. We did this 2 years in a row here. We'll have fun and games and all that other good stuff. But it's going to be a fun week for sure. Right, Dave?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And today's show has been brought to you by TWA.